And a good evening to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you here on this Monday evening. And we're headed toward frigid weather. The temperatures going way down very quickly as we work our way through the rest of the evening and into the overnight. It's going to be one of our coldest nights of the winter, if not the coldest. And that's something we want you to be aware about. Obviously, we got through our weekend's winter storm. Problems. Some of them, yes. Overall, fairly fortunate that the freezing rain held off as much as it did. We did have a glazing on surfaces, but really, most of the impacts now are the leftover sleet and snow that accumulated on the ground. Only a couple of inches, but I'll tell you, this sleet is going to have some staying power. And this evening, everything is really iced up. I mean, earlier today, it was a little slushier. And now, as the temperatures have gone below freezing, it is solid ice. And easy to fall on that stuff. Make sure you're careful when you're stepping. And one of the main things I just want you to know about is as we go into tonight, one of these bitter cold evenings, you got to be extra careful out there. I mean, we're just going to see a lot of really, really cold temperatures, which make the travel conditions a bit icier. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've been out and about around the area, mostly in Greensboro, coming in and out of work. Roads are mostly okay, but these are the main roads. So on the main roads, your main concerns would be watching out for things like black ice. So the main roads have gotten down to the pavement, which is great news and easily passable. But the main things you'd want to watch for on the main roads, the black ice. On the side roads, we're talking about sheet of ice kind of stuff. And so being that those side roads are a sheet of ice, that's going to make you either at best take it slow or either just avoid it. And that's going to be up to you and your confidence and your abilities of driving in this stuff and whatever need you might have to get outside. So bottom line, next couple of evenings, we're still going to be dealing with this icy travel, Arctic chill, but tonight's the worst one. And I really think you'd be good to protect those pipes, something of a concern as we have those colder temperatures building in. So dripping the faucets can help. And really over the next several hours, we're going to see the temperature just get lower, lower, and lower. We're already falling into the teens outside, and kind of we're headed down to some temperatures that'll be basically right around the single digits for some. Kind of depends on where you are, but between about 5 and 10 degrees overall on average, some pretty cold stuff. So as we go into that, temperatures were definitely going to be very, very chilly, and we're going to be seeing those wind chills be even worse than that. So when you factor in the wind and the gusty speeds that we've seen, it doesn't take all that much wind to make the wind chill even worse when it's already down into those single digits. How about a wind chill of 1 degree, maybe 4 below? Maybe 16 below. That's kind of what our model is sniffing out going into the overnight time frame and early tomorrow morning as well. So you definitely want to bundle, covering up any sort of skin that you might have. That's if you have to go out. If you're choosing to stay in, it'll get a little better as the day wears on tomorrow, and then we'll get the help of some sunshine as well. But the morning is going to be difficult. There's no doubt about it. The morning will be difficult. A little context here. We're forecasting a low of about 7 degrees in Greensboro. Last time we were colder than that was 5. Now also some other context. That 5 degrees, by the way, was 3 years ago. Christmas Eve, you remember. It was really bad. Last month we had a morning that was 11. So that's not that far off from where we're going tonight. So this does happen. I actually haven't even looked at our record low for tonight. I should look at that. So anyway, we will be seeing very cold weather overnight tonight. On average, we do get a single digit low temperature, basically about once every 2 years. That's kind of the on average thing for our area, is to get single digit temperatures about once every couple of years. Throughout the day tomorrow, let's take a look at your forecast planner. I see lots of sunshine throughout the day. We'll have, temperatures in the morning that are bitterly cold, and there's nothing you can do about that other than to just bundle as best you can, or even just avoid going out in that time of day. And if you wait long enough, you should be able to get us in, we'll be in the low 30s for the afternoon. So there's some improvement there. Tomorrow is January 27th, the record low. We're not close. The record low is 7 below zero. So we will not be sniffing that one out, and I'm happy about that. 35 to 36, that'll be your high temperature for tomorrow. It is still a breezy day. We had some winds around the area earlier today, and that'll continue to be the case for tomorrow. So let's take a look at those wind gusts for Tuesday. Nothing too crazy, but it won't feel good because it's cold. Wind gusts will be around the 20 to 25 mile per hour range. And if you were looking closely, you might have noticed how gusty it is in the mountains. They are really going to be in the middle of a bit of a northwest flow event of some snowfall. And then we'll stay pretty chilly as well going into the day on our Wednesday. So basically all week long is going to be cold. This will be one of our colder weeks in recent memory. Not the coldest, but it'll be one of the colder weeks in recent memory. And probably something you can only do in the month of January. Once we get into February, it gets much more difficult to stay this cold for so long. The sun starts to get stronger, and particularly by March, it's rare to have extended cold in March at that point. Now, the reason we're staying so cold has a lot to do with the weather pattern. We have these crossing cold fronts every couple of days, and it's not just us, it's most of the eastern United States that's dealing with this. Now, by the end of the week, we're going to find ourselves with a very interesting weather pattern. Well, isn't that interesting? If we look at the view around the country, this is kind of what you want to see if you're a snow lover. You've got a western ridge, you've got an eastern trough. What we mean by that, the jet stream's going up in the west, it's going down in the east. And around the bend of that jet stream, you can occasionally cause low pressure to form. And in our part of the world, when you get low pressure to form near the Atlantic Ocean, it gets pretty interesting. The reason it gets pretty interesting because the Atlantic Ocean has a lot of moisture associated with it, and sometimes it can throw it back at you. So that's what we're going to see if we can do. I don't know if I want to do that, but we're going to look at that for Friday into Saturday, possibly into Sunday. We've noticed a trend that some computer models have wanted to spin up a storm. Now, are we wanting to hype up everybody and get everyone riled up to go to the grocery store again for this weekend? No, we don't really want to do that. But it is my job to tell you the weather possibilities for the next week. And this is one of the possibilities, at least. I'm not sure I buy it yet. I'm not saying we're going to have snow. But there's a chance of it, and I think there's at least about a 30% chance of us getting some snow on Saturday. And we should probably be ready for that, or at least mentally preparing for it. There's nothing you need to do right now. You're probably stocked up on groceries from the weekend. I know I am. So just kind of keep an eye on it. We'll monitor the situation. We'll let you know what the trends are. Now, when it comes to these coastal storms, there can be many different types for us here in the Piedmont. If you have one that trends offshore, like path number 1 here, that tends to be the best track for coastal snow, but we tend to stay dry around here. That's possible this time. Path number 2, that would be the best track for a Piedmont snow, and maybe a big one. That's usually when the low pressure center tracks right by Wilmington. Now, path number 3, that is the messy variety, and that's kind of what we just went through. An inland track. That's where you typically get messed up with freezing rain or sleet and some snow. Kind of the whole wintry mix equation. Bottom line, no need to get riled up here. But you're probably going to see this on social media all week. Just know we're watching it. It's a coastal low pressure, a lot of cold air. The weather pattern continues to be favorable, and it doesn't stop here either. Multiple chances of snow are still a possibility over the next couple of weeks. Now, at this point, there is about an equal chance of it hitting or missing Greensboro. So let's keep an eye on it. Here's your 7-day forecast. 30s every day. Every day, except for the weekend, and then we'll be in the 20s. Overnight lows will be in the teens and even the single digits. It's very cold all week long, and that means a lot of our snow is going to stay on the ground. The sleet, I should say. Be safe out there. Be bundled up. It's cold.